welcome back to the Krueg Show. Larry Krueger, Ryan Smith, Dan Coach Emilio after Giants baseball. Man, Giants cannot score. They just cannot score. They remind me of one of my fraternity brothers back in college. He just couldn't score. Oh my God, go on a great date. How was it? Oh, I just couldn't score. Welcome to Giants Postgame on YouTube. Larry Krueger here with the Krueg Show, along with Dan Coach Emilio and Ryan Smith. And guys, what can you say? I mean, this one hurt. It's like a double loss for the Giants in a lot of ways because they got to win these games, right? They got to win 3-2. They can't in a 3-2 game. You can't lose the 3-2 games. When you can't score 8 runs, you can't score 9 runs. The Giants can't win 8-7. So you know what that means to me is that if they're going to hang around, they got to win the 3-2 game. The 3-2 game's got to be their win, and they're not getting it. They're not getting it. And today, Harrison Bader, what was that celebration about? He hits a 2-run home run. He acted like he had just won the World Series. And then Darren Ruff, who's been hitting the ball hard, hit a little, fist a little shot the opposite way, and it's a 2-2 ball game. And it looks like we're going on extras. Camilo Doval got out of the 8th, but Dylan Carlson is a really good hitter, the pride of Elk Grove. And, what can you say? Is it Yepez hit the ball down the line, and they pinch ran with Donovan, who I've never even heard of. And then here comes Dylan Carlson, and he ripped a shot to the outfield, and that was it. 3-2. Giants go down in the 9th inning and lose 3-2. Rough loss, but we're gonna have fun tonight on a Friday night. We'll read some of the chat. We'll take some video calls. We'll do some audio calls. And guys, give me your thoughts. What'd you think of the game? Who wants to go first?
Dan, why don't you go first?
All right. Well, a lot of positives. One of my frustrations though with the 9th inning is part of analytics that I hate is you guard the line in the late innings to avoid the extra base hit. And, Yepez or whatever, they don't really know his background. He's only been up for a couple of games. So you don't know exactly where to play him. Guard the line against the double. If Vosler is doing that, it's the top of the 9th, he either snags it, gets up and throws Chubby out, or it's not a double. And if he hits it to the left of him on the glove side, base hit. We saw it, same thing, bottom of the 9th. Estrada was
Arenado didn't take away the line. Estrada poked one by him down the left field line. And then amazingly, what was weird about that one, Dan, is that Arenado was giving up the line, but O'Neill was over there so fast that Estrada was held to a single on that play. I was like, I'm watching that and I thought, man, I can't believe a third baseman like Arenado. And I'm watching it with my 2 kids, 2 youngest boys, and I'm like, man, you always take away the line in the late innings in a 1-run game. And Arenado, who's a Gold Glover, didn't. But O'Neill did, and O'Neill had his back and rallied fast to that ball and got it back to the infield, kept Estrada to a single. But, I kind of agree with you. Now the ball that Yepez hit down the left, that was – you would have had to really be playing right on the line because that thing was straight down the line.
Right, but he should have been – if he was 2-3 steps toward the bag and – maybe even a little deeper. The guy's not going to bunt. He's slow. So I don't know why you're not playing toward the back of the infield. And, you don't have to guard the line if you're a little deeper because you have a better angle on those balls down the line. But he wasn't playing that far. He was only a few steps behind third base, I think. He wasn't that deep. And, Yepez, you could see, he doesn't have any speed. That's why they took him out of the game to pinch run Donovan. So I don't understand that one. I really don't understand the defensive positioning there.
Well,
So that was frustrating.
It was a bad loss. Before we get to Ryan, who will hopefully cheer us up, 3-2 Cardinals. This might cheer you up. We have a donation here. Dustin, what does it say? Dustin the Gale. Okay, so maybe he's a St. Mary's guy. He says, think Posey would ever come back as the DH. Maybe it's worth a call. He's in town. What if that wouldn't that be too cool? Now, that would be a cool Buster Posey day. You want to make the coolest Buster Posey day of all time? Kind of like Billy Martin on Old Timers Day. Announce that he's coming back. Announce that Buster's coming back in a month, and he's going straight to Sacramento to rehab. He's loving retirement, but you know what? He kind of feels like he'd like to keep playing. That would be the coolest Buster Posey day tomorrow. That's my Buster Posey day wish.
That would be cool. Give him 30 million.
I never really thought seriously. I never really thought about it, but like, dang, like it would have been kind of nice to have the DH rule, towards the end of Posey's career, just to keep the bat in the lineup. Like seriously,
try to keep him fresh.
Yeah, it's a huge...
Romo 2001 says Bonds for DH. Brody 7. Now he's getting on the Dan Coach Emilio train. He says Vossler's a good player, but I find him out of position a lot on third. A lot of balls have passed him. Let's all dump on Vossler. All right.
I don't think it's necessarily Vossler's fault.
No.
It's the coaches that tell him where to play. All the analytics, the Geek Squad. They're up there.
The headline reads, Dan Coach Emilio blames Alyssa Natkin for the loss.
No, not those coaches. The Geek Squad that we don't know behind the scenes.
What'd you guys think of Sean Hjelle? What'd you think of him, Ryan? I mean, he's 6'11". I didn't realize that there's never in a sport that goes back to 1870 with, Six Finger Brown and all these oddities. And there's never been a 7-foot pitcher, never been a 7-foot player in Major League Baseball. 6'11" is the tallest player in the history of the game that goes back to 1870s. I mean, I was a little surprised by that.
Yeah, that actually was really surprising. I feel like it seems like I would have known that almost like, but yeah, I didn't know it until the broadcast. But I mean, the only thing I can think of is like, my God, I can't wait. We just got to pitch him versus the Astros. I need to see him pitching to Altuve. That's just going to be
straight downhill.
Yeah.
Manny Machado says, why not start Sean Hjelle since that's what he was doing in Sacramento? Well, we can sit there and question. Are you questioning Gabe Kapler? He won 107 games last year. How long are we going to do that? And when's that going to get tired? Every time anybody criticizes, we'll push back with, they won 107 last year. Watch it. What do you guys think of Hjelle, though? I mean, to me, just I never get tired, and maybe this is, this is the family guy in me, but to me, I never get tired of watching guys making their major league debut, their wives in the stands. Oftentimes these guys are like, 23, 24, 25. Yeah. So if they even have kids, they're usually newborns like we saw tonight. I mean, he literally had a newborn baby boy. His son George was there. His wife Caroline was in the stands. I guess he's got 2 kids. Mom and dad were in the stands as well. And I love the story. I mean, University of Kentucky, 2nd round pick, pretty talented guy. John Roush, who also was 6'11", by the way, but 95 on the fastball. He's got the slider. He's got the change. He's 25, went to high school in Minnesota, was the 2017 SEC Pitcher of the Year. Giants took him in the 2nd round, gave him $1.5 million signing bonus, and he's battled in the minor leagues, and he came out tonight, 11 pitches, 7 strikes. Who's at the front door? Find out who's at the door.
Hey, could you please state your name and where you're calling from?
Hi, my name is Chardoll, and I'm calling from Fremont, California.
Oh yeah.
What? Say your name again.
My name is Chardoll.
Chardoll from Fremont. What's up, Chardoll? How's it going, man? What's on your mind?
So I just want to say this game is a little bit more manageable. As a Giants fan, this was like, at least we didn't get blown out like we did yesterday. So, this was a much better, well-played game by the Giants. because you know how resilient this team really is. You know,
Yeah, I mean, we doubled runs.
really.
It was good. It was good to see a competitive game start to finish. This was a good baseball game. It really was. It was a well played game. There were some good moments. I like a well played 3-2 game. There's no question that this one's tough though, because it is the kind of game they can win, right? I mean, they can win 3-2. At this point, you could say that they need to win the 3-2 games because they're not going to win 9-8. So that's what makes this one a little bit tough for me, is that, man, you had a tie game going to the late innings and it's there for you. And, I don't blame Kapler for going to Doval. I don't blame Doval for, sometimes, a guy like Dylan Carlson's just a really good hitter. I was saying it to my kids as we're sitting there. I'm like, this guy's a really good hitter. He's from Elk Grove. He was a great, great amateur hitter, great high school player in Elk Grove, and then obviously a top prospect in the Cardinal system all the way through. And he's just got a beautiful swing. He'll shoot it the other way. I think Carlson's one of the good young hitters in the National League. So, you got to tip your cap sometimes when you get beat. And what can you say there? I mean, Carlson's job is to put the bat on the ball. He's really good at it. Doval looked overpowering at times. He's still throwing 99 miles an hour, and his stuff looks good. He just got one, Dylan Carlson got one and shot it on the grass. A little worm burner out to left center field, and it was Slater was out there, tried to make the throw home, but it was in obviously not close to a play at the plate. So what can you say? The Cardinals pushed through that third run. It's funny. It's like when you are struggling to score runs, it becomes, if you really just watch the games and look at, you're only looking, people are way harder on the errors of commission than the errors of omission, right? So it's like, if you don't see anybody get a hit, you can sit there and go, well, nobody screwed up necessarily. Well, yeah, but nobody came through either. So in a game like this, it's easy to walk out of the stadium going, damn, Doval, but in reality, Doval pitched all right. Carlson got a nice single to center, singled in Donovan, and there you go. There's your ball game. I mean, it's when you're not scoring runs, your margin for error is nil, and when you're not scoring runs, everything's magnified. And everybody walks out of the stadium cursing the reliever. But in reality, Camilo Doval didn't do anything terrible tonight. He just gave up an RBI single. Go ahead, Chardoll.
So tomorrow, me and my friends are planning to go out to Oracle Park tomorrow, take on the Cardinals on Buster Posey Day.
Good for you. Enjoy yourself. It's going to be Matts and Logan Webb, I believe. What's that?
I just coordinated with my friends on Discord. I have a Discord server for the so I talk with my friends on Discord. We have a chat going on Discord about the Giants and planning to go to games this year.
Right.
And something about Buster Posey Day is that means a lot to me, because that's going to be a pretty big moment for him to be in front of his family, be in front of his kids are going to be out there as well to kind of root him on, to give him all that love and support. But that's going to be a big day for him. And he's one of my favorite catchers. I mean, he's a great guy in the clubhouse. He's all the players look up to him like that big figure that, he's inspirational. He gives us these great messages. Every time he comes out on the field, he always, he has that kind personality to him that everybody wants to, emulate themselves after.
No question. Chardoll, I think the best way to say it, Chardoll, here's the best way to sum it up. He's our guy. He's our guy. And tomorrow they're going to honor him. Go ahead. I was just going to say, I hope you have an awesome Saturday with your friends, man. That sounds like a perfect Saturday afternoon. Get together with some buddies, get out to the yard on Buster Posey Day. The weather's going to be perfect.
maybe
Go
if
ahead,
we go out
Chardoll.
to the ballpark, maybe like we might have a couple of beers. Maybe me and my friends want to have a beer, maybe to celebrate the night.
Chardoll, how old are you before we advocate this beer drinking excursion?
I'm 25 years old.
All right. Well, you know what? Then, hey, you know what, Chardoll? Have one for me. Have one for me. Tilt one back. Pour one down your face. Have it streaming all over you. I'm doing it for the Krueg show. I'm doing it for the Krueg show. Can you do that for me, Chardoll?
I'll do that for you.
You're the man. You are the freaking man.
Hey, Chardoll, give it a little shout out for the Krueg show in your Discord group.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I always love calling on the Krueg show, and you're always the man. You always are going to be the man. You're going to be the man, the myth, the legend, the Krueg show. Hey, everybody, show some love to Larry Krueger, my boy, the Krueg show. This guy does call-in shows for the Giants, the Warriors. You got to show some love to Larry Krueger. Do that for me.
Shout it out on the Discord, man. All the kids are popping on the Discord. I need to grow my brand on the Discord. Chardoll, hey, you know what? Go out on top. Let's go out on top. Once again, you're in the park tomorrow. Buster's being honored. You go to the beer stand. You peel out a C note. It was going to be 20, but you went to Dan Coach Emilio, so now you got more in your pocket. And you bust out the C note. And you say, you know what? It's on Coach Emilio and Krueger, and then just Discord that thing. Just pour that all over you. Krueg show. You know what, Chardoll? We gotta get Chardoll a Krueg show T-shirt.
And a great way to celebrate the night was you have to chug it.
There you go.
Chug that thing. You gotta chug that.
And the fans are going crazy. And then the fans are chanting, Chardoll, Chardoll,
Chardoll.
Chardoll, hey, you know what? You know,
special right there, man. That you just made me a celebrity right there with that quote right there that you just said on the show.
That's right. 415 has the Red Rhino. The Krueg show has Chardoll.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you, man. You're the greatest, man. I mean, everybody has to know.
Chardoll, how could I be the greatest if you're the greatest first? All right. Hey, buddy. Thanks for calling the show. When you're looking for retirement planning, call Dan Coach Emilio. If you're looking for extra beers at the yard, call Ryan Smith. And remember, just douse yourself with that bad boy yelling the Krueg show. The Krueg show lives on.
You're number 2, and I'm number 1. You're the number 1.
Well, how about this? Well, let's be like horses at the track since tomorrow's the Derby. You be the 1, I'll be the 1A. I'll be the entry.
There's no way that you're not going to be number 1. Like I'm going to.
You know what? Damn, you're right. You're right again. You're the freaking 1A. I'm the 1, baby. I'm the 1.
You 1, baby. Let's go for the shout out to Larry Krueger.
All right, Chardoll, blowing up so far. Woo! All right, Chardoll, we're going to let you go because we have another call coming in. But thank you so much.
And my best call.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Best call, right?
Oh yeah.
Easily your best call. I mean, you kidding me? I don't even think it's close. Wait a second. I have to shout with this one. Bye, Salinas. That's the highest honor you can possibly have in the Krueg show is to get the bye Salinas. We give it to Chardoll. Bye Chardoll and bye Salinas. All right, we're off and rolling. Man, that was
good energy.
Very good energy. He had 20 in his pocket, but he went to Dan Coach Emilio. Now he's got a C note, and he's got a chance to spend it on beers. When he said I was going to have my beer, I was like, I felt like I was talking to a 15-year-old. He was get the front door. Who's at the front door?
Who's at the front door? State your name.
Yeah, this is Victor.
Victor, where are you calling from, Vic? Can I call you Vic?
Yeah, you can call me Trader Vic if you like.
There you go.
I'm in Marin County, Mill Valley. Yeah.
All right.
Mill Valley, California.
Victor in Mill Valley. Been to Mill Valley. Love Mill Valley. Beautiful spot.
Yeah. So Look, first of all, Larry, I think of myself as a young guy, but I feel like I'm dating myself by saying I was listening to you back in the, Felipe Alou era on, post game, and glad to come full circle and glad to see the democratization of that the internet is providing so that we don't have to just hear 100% Giants advertising, from the, Giants media department. We as fans I feel like I can share my honest opinion about what's going on here with you.
You absolutely can. You fire away. That's the beauty of YouTube, right? You can just be straight shooter Victor from Mill Valley.
Do you think Coyote is getting a share of the profit or the savings between the luxury tax threshold and the Giants' actual payroll? Because otherwise, what the heck is he doing? Does he want to be the Oakland A's of San Francisco? I mean, yeah, it's nice to have Vossler. Not Vossler, but some of these. All these guys coming up.
You want Farhan to spend. You don't like what the Giants are spending. I mean, look, we looked it up last night, Victor. They're 13th in payroll. I think they should be a top 10 payroll. Yeah. I think they should be a top 10 payroll. I've been on record as saying that.
Top 5 in payroll because the Bay Area is a top 5 market, and this is a top 5 franchise in MLB. And look, I'm not saying they have to spend wastefully. The reality is, you can spend a lot of money and have it do nothing for you. I remember
spending money in and of itself isn't the key. Yeah, I hear you. It's not about necessarily spending the money. It's about improving the club. Here's the thing. It was a weird off season. There was no real time to do a lot of this building. So, I mean, they went for Suzuki. Okay. They didn't get him. They went for Trevor Story. They didn't get him. I don't fault them for the moves they've made. I'm more I'm frustrated that there wasn't one more significant stick because let's be honest. I think everybody knows that this team is challenged offensively right now.
Right.
And they need another bat, whether it's a veteran or a young guy.
He's a smart guy, right? He knows.
He's competitive too. He'd rather not make a move than make a bad move. That's really it right there. He'd rather wait for a better move to come along and maintain the financial and prospect flexibility, if you will. Then lean forward and say, you know what, we just got to get somebody. And so we couldn't get this guy, so we'll get that guy. I'm kind of happy they didn't get Trevor Story, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I'll say this, I was banging the drum for Marcus Semien before the lockout, and now Simeon's doing zero. So I would have been doing cartwheels if they got Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber's doing zero. So it's just a matter of right now, they didn't make any major moves. They didn't want to kill their flexibility. They didn't want to part with prospects. I'm okay with that, but how do you pivot once the season gets rolling and it's pretty clear that you need more offense? How do they pivot from here? How do they take some of the money that they have, some of the prospect depth that they have, and turn that into a guy that can help them right now? I'll say this. If you believe in Farhan, you got to really believe. You got to really believe because, like right now, you're sitting there going, "What you're saying, Victor," which is they should have spent more money. They should have done more. Well, it's easy to be critical right now, and I agree with you. Actually, to be totally honest, I think you're spot on. But the season's not over. They've gotten off to a decent start. Now they've hit a lull. Right. Now it's pretty clear they need more offense. What does he do? Right. And in the next 4 or 5 weeks, I want to see it.
He was willing to part with probably their most that pitching prospect he gave up for Chris Bryant, who I believe is if he's not in the major leagues, he's very
Caleb Killian. Caleb Killian, I think is his name.
Yeah, exactly. And so he acknowledged that they needed a bat then, right? And that was with Posey, okay? And that was with Crawford having probably a 2 standard deviation above, expectation season, right?
Well, look at Chris Bryant right now, though. I mean, not to interrupt you, but look at Chris Bryant. What if they had re-signed Chris Bryant right now? It wouldn't look good.
That was a no-brainer, but but at the end of the day, like
they need more O. They need more O.
The Dodgers are, they're spending twice as much money as the Giants, and you can tell by looking at their roster. Like, it's just a better team, and it's like I love the Giants. I want to invest my time and energy following the team, but it's like it just makes me wonder, like, should I really get so invested if they're not doing it as nearly as much as the Dodgers do?
Well, all I would say is this:
as much as the Dodgers.
Yeah, no. Well, first of all, this is what I would say to you. I would say, watch this closely. Watch this closely, because I think that, I know that Farhan's super competitive. I know the Giants are relatively a rich team when it comes to prospects and now payroll room. Let's see what he does. I don't believe, the one thing we know he won't do, guys, is he won't sit on his hands. He won't sit on this all year and be like, oh, well, what can we do? He won't. He'll do something. But I agree with the caller. I wanted to see more done in the offseason. It wasn't done. And now, let's see what they do, because now it's pretty clear. They're not swinging it. They don't have enough offense. They need more. Does he part with a prospect? Does he take on somebody's player who's got a big contract on a team that's going nowhere in a deal where, because you take on the contract, the price tag in prospects is really cheap? A Josh Bell from the Nationals, something like that. I'm looking for something like that, and I bet you he is too. So, hey, Victor, we appreciate the call, man. Call us anytime. I like your stance, man. I appreciate it.
No,
Give us a call.
It's a good call.
Yeah, it was a good call.
I think, Farhan didn't just lose everything he's been and who he is in the last week. I mean, a week ago they were 13-5. Okay,
right?
Or they're 14-12 now, so they're in a bad 8-9 game stretch. And, fortunately it's early, and now they're, I guess 3.5 out. You just don't want to fall for more than 5 back, by the end of May. You want to be in that range when you get up to the All-Star break, to be within striking distance. The division we knew coming in was going to be with what the Dodgers did with Freeman in the offseason, and, just how they continue to reload was going to be tough to duplicate. But right now, the way I see things, I was thinking about this today. There's 3 wild cards, and they're going to have to
There's
battle.
the extra wild card this year.
But it's not going to be as easy as we think, because San Diego is getting off to a great start, and they don't even have Fernando. So they're going to be there, it looks like, because Bob Melvin's not going to let that team fall apart like the last manager did last year. They just he lost the clubhouse, and that's not going to happen. And I believe that's why they've got Melvin down there. So you got the Padres, you've got the Cardinals and the Brewers. One of them is going to win the division most likely, and the other is going to be contending for the wild card. And then you got the Mets and the Braves. So the Giants are right in that group they'll be fighting for those wild card spots. You got the Padres, Cardinals, and Braves, those 3 teams, because Atlanta's going to pick it back up. Acuna just came back.
Did you see the Acuna home run tonight where he fell down?
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. Acuna hits one out tonight to, I think, center field in the Braves game. They were wearing the throwback unis, and he went to the ground. Now, I don't know if he got hurt. Hopefully not, because he's one of the great young players in the game. But, yeah, he went to the ground. I'll say this, too. By the way, J Hutch 91 is donating $1.99. He says, doing video calls tonight, Larry. Rye, when we bring in Rye, we're doing both. We've now taken an audio call. We've had some donations. Have we gone to the video call yet? Do we have a video call capability for J Hutch?
Boom. There it is. Anybody wants to jump in? Not everyone at once, but
okay. So The pride of Murfreesboro could be joining us live.
It's very possible. I think
Dare to dream.
Yeah.
Let me just say this too about tonight's game. I've watched baseball for a long time. Danny, you've watched baseball for a long time. Ryan, not quite as long. Hold on, Jay Hutch. You're in the green room. We see the pride of Murfreesboro has just hit the tarmac, ladies and gentlemen. we will have him momentarily. If that's not enough to hold you, nothing will. I can't remember seeing 4 pitchers in a row with as good a stuff as what I saw tonight.
Oh, the Cardinals.
Jordan Hicks throws an easy 100. Then the kid Cabrera they brought in is got the crazy hook, and he's at 95 miles an hour with the crazy hook. Then they go to the guy Heisley. That guy's at 101.
He hit 102 tonight. He was the
102,
most impressive.
102. That's what I thought I saw. 102.
Impressive. He put one right on the knees. Who was that too? He struck out looking. Was it? I don't remember. It hit 102 right at the bottom of the strike zone.
Wasn't it Yaz?
It may have been.
No, it wasn't Yaz. No. It was. I'll get it for you.
Was it rough?
It was. Let's see. It was.
Candidly, he was battling with Slater as I walked out of the car.
Slater on 102
at the knees, and you're just sitting there. You don't even have time to move your back. I mean, what do you golf that thing, or what do you do? It was crazy. If you're not expecting if you're looking off speed in that situation, it's over.
The guy's got a nasty slider and he's at 102, and he struck out 4 in an inning and 2/3. That means he faced 5 batters and struck out 4.
Hasn't allowed a batter he's allowed 1 batter all year.
1 hit all year, or 1 run?
One base runner.
1 base runner. Yeah, he's got a 0 point. So then you go Hicks, Cabrera, Heisley, and then Giovanni Gallegos, who's filthy. Absolutely filthy. Another man who's filthy is Jay Hutch, who joins us from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The filth continues. The pride of Murfreesboro. Put him in the center square.
What's going on, guys?
Jay Hutch, now your donation, and you're in the center square with your $1.99 donation. I think you're rolling pretty fat there, to be honest. And I think the $1.99 is just, if you were with Dan Coach Emilio, that $1.99 would have been like a $6 donation. I'm pretty confident in saying that. Dan would have grown that donation in just he would look at your portfolio and just get a sense of where you're at, and I think he would get you to that $6 or $7 donation. We're pulling your leg. What's going on, Jay Hutch? It was a rough loss.
You're the
Giants tonight.
He did an ad read without doing an ad read right there.
There you go. That's right. Dan Coach Emilio, retirement planning. And if he had helped the man in Murfreesboro, we could have got more than $1.99 out of him. All right. Give me your thought on the game tonight, and give me your thought on where the Giants are at right now, because you're a cerebral Giants fan. But let's be honest. The Giants won 107. Everybody believes in Farhan. Everybody believes in Kapler. I believe in the direction. If I believe, you guys all should believe. But right now they're getting outgunned. I'm looking at that Cardinal lineup. They go Goldschmidt, Arenado, O'Neill, Yepes, Dickerson, Carlson. The Giant lineup just doesn't measure up right now. Not to that.
No, I thought the best part about tonight was the pitching. I mean, yeah, they gave up 3 runs, and yeah, Doval gave up the lead. But I mean, what is he supposed to do? I mean, it's a 2-2 game. Like, if you say Giants pitching is going to give up 2-3 runs every game, you're going to take that all year long, right? But if you can't score, then that's it. So that's
now it's 2 minutes to 11 on the West Coast. In Murfreesboro, it's 2 minutes to 2. Is that right?
1. 2
minutes to 1. So are you being kind of a little on the quieter side tonight?
Wife's asleep. Yeah.
Wife's asleep. All right. This is like that. This is like that commercial. Who are you talking to? I'm wearing. What is he wearing? I'm wearing khakis. I'm wearing khakis.
State Farm. What is he wearing? Khakis. Yeah.
Khakis.
Yeah.
One of my favorite commercials. Who are you talking to? I'm talking to Bob from State Farm.
Yeah. That is
Bob, what are you wearing? Khakis. In your most calm middle of the night voice.
Hmm.
What do you think that's wrong with the Giants right now?
Injuries. Just look at Belt. I mean, Belt's always been streaky, right? So he always has cold streaks, always has hot streaks. So he's gonna get going at some point. It's just the whole Belt wars. It shouldn't even be a Belt war. So believe in Belt. He's gonna get it going. He's the captain. He's gonna lead the team. I think Jock's too good of a hitter to keep slumping. I mean, he was hitting 360. He got a little hurt, so he's out of rhythm. He's going to get back in the groove. Once we just get all these guys back, once we just start grooving again, get back to Giants baseball, hit some home runs, timely hitting, and good pitching, we're going to be fine.
It does feel, it almost felt like it was, I don't know. It's weird. It's like maybe because school's in, but it's Friday night, Giants Cardinals. And I thought it was kind of a really small crowd tonight. I don't know what you guys thought. It's weird. It's like I went to a bunch of games over the, last year and now granted it was, I guess I went to more of them later in the summer and they did win 107. So maybe that had a lot to do with the momentum, but it just seems like, I don't know if Giants fans are waiting for the warmer weather or because Cardinals are a good matchup. I like watching the Cardinals. I think most people do. I was surprised. I don't know what they listed the crowd at tonight, but it just seemed like they're I don't know. It's weird. It's for a team that won 107 games and had the Cardinals in town, one of the more exciting teams in baseball. Typically. I was surprised that it seemed on a Friday night, it seemed like about a third full. What did you guys think? Danny, you're a season ticket holder. Yep. What did you think about the crowd?
Yeah, it was a little light. Could have had something to do with the weather, the fog, potential.
Man, the fog blew in at 8:30, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
Just sopped in.
I got to thinking with the possible problem with this team. Right now, we've been talking about the dead ball, and the Giants last year, most of their runs were scored on home runs.
Yeah, they were knocking them out left and right.
And all their runs were scored by home runs. They 3 homers, or and with the dead ball out there. They're not getting the singles and, moving the line. And they really didn't do that much last year, move the line. They got the big hits. And I'm thinking that dead ball could be really hurting a team like them, where the Dodgers seem to be able to, string 3-4 hits in a row quite a bit. And that's and you're seeing that with the Cardinals. Runs are being scored. They did get the 2-run homer tonight, but last night in the 7th inning, they put 4 runs on McGee and Rogers and just bang, 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 And I'm starting to think that maybe baseball swings, and the Giants were, in the 17, 18, 19, they weren't hitting the long ball and everybody else was. Teams would come into Oracle and be like, hey, man, they're mashing the ball. How come the Giants can't hit any home runs? Then all of a sudden they get these new hitting instructors and they start, changing their swing. They change their approach, look for the pitch you can hit and drive. And guys started smoking the ball out of the park. Donnie Ecker, their lead hitting coach, went to the Texas Rangers in the offseason. I wonder if that has any bearing on their lack of hitting right now.
Good points. The Giants need more smokers and more swingers, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and guys that can, the whole league's
I'm joking.
down.
I'm joking with
you.
The
whole league's down, though. Look at the.
No, I hear you. Look at the pitching they faced tonight, though. The pitching they faced tonight was overpowering. It's funny. Jack says this show is the only thing getting me through the Giants' losses. That's funny. How about this one? What do you guys think of this one? Derek Brantley says, Farhan failed to create any buzz this offseason. The team has zero star power. I'll say one thing that I think is interesting is just watching Farhan kind of operate in the last week. You know, he traded for that guy Padlo, then he farmed him out to Sacramento. It's pretty clear that they could use a little bit more power. A little bit more extra base potential in this lineup. So, you know, I'm not saying Kevin Padlo is the answer, but maybe somebody who could give them some extra base potential, you know, will be somebody that Farhan will try to add. I mean, he added Ford, who's got a little power. Then he sent him out. Then he added Padlo, who's got some minor league power. But, I mean, the Giants could really use – they could use a little extra, but you're right, Danny. They're not going to be the team that moves the line for the most part. Maybe, you know, the other thing that the Giants are kind of missing is they're missing some of their grinders. A guy like Belt, you know, when you add a guy like Belt to the lineup, he's 3-2 on every count. You know, every at bat, it seems like he works it to a 3-2 count. You know, they're not necessarily working the starter and getting into the relievers they want to get into. Now they worked Hicks for 68 pitches through 4 1/3. It's not terrible, but you know, typically every staff's got 2 or 3 relievers they don't want to use, and the Giants last year made sure that they got lots of at bats against those guys by working the starter for lots of pitches. And they're not without Belt in there, without Wade, who's pretty patient. LaStella, who's very patient.
He just came back.
They're missing some of that, and that has to be kind of a group effort. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's go back to Murfreesboro real quick. Just make sure we check. What do you think? What do you got, Murfreesboro?
That's definitely it, I think. I mean, I can remember a couple games where it was, I forget who was leading off, but Belt was the second guy. But the leadoff hitter and Belt faced like 35 pitches. Like Belt had like a 20 pitch at bat, you know, and that's what they did. They got starters out in the 4th. They got starters out in the 5th. They're not doing that right now, especially with Bart in the lineup, who is striking out a lot, as Dan always says. I mean, if you're striking out, you're at least not putting the ball in play, not making the defense work. And if you're not taking as many pitches, because Wade's been out, Yaz has been out, he just came back, you know. So I think that's definitely, you know, that's not helping, because you have to get the starter out. That's today's game. You have to get the starter out.
You got to somehow work into that bullpen for sure. Yeah. Jay Hutch, have a great night, man.
Oh,
I won't have you yell and scream because I don't want your wife to wake up. But what is that? What's that hat you have right there?
The Nashville Sound side. I went to the first game today.
Nice. They got a good stadium.
I tagged you in 2 pictures.
Oh, did you?
Twitter.
Oh, nice. Today?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet.
Their scoreboard is like a guitar. It's pretty cool. So like,
where is it in downtown Nashville?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet.
It's right in downtown. It's pretty open. You can see like all the tall buildings. I think the scoreboard is pretty cool. So it's like a guitar, like the big part of the guitar is like the screen, where all the strings are. That's like where the innings are, and then they have like other stats. Like
it's a scoreboard guitar.
It's pretty.
Cool. I gotta check that out. Check that out.
So is that,
you sent it to me on Twitter?
AAA there.
They are affiliate with the Brewers.
Nashville,
actually,
right?
David Dahl was in the lineup there, so I think he's rehabbing.
Oh,
there we go. Let me see. Let me see if I can see this picture.
How far
you just sent it to me?
Georgia.
I tagged you in it maybe like 4 hours ago.
Okay, I'll have to look for it.
Hey Jay, how far are you from a drive down to Savannah, Georgia?
I don't know about Savannah, but from Atlanta, it'd be 3.5 hours.
Well, you should check out the Savannah Bananas.
That's right, guys? Burnsy. That's Burnsy's squad, right? Isn't that Burnsy's?
Oh, that team?
Yeah, they're independent league, Savannah Bananas.
Is that the one with like the flaming bats?
Everything,
that's.
Hey, if you catch a foul ball, you can get the third out if you're in the stands.
Really? Oh,
is that the deal? Is that really the deal, Dan?
Yeah, if you catch a foul ball in the stands, it's an out. You're part of the team, man. It's pretty cool.
Hey, I'll say this about that: they're finding ways to make baseball more fun and interactive with the fans instead of what MLB's been doing lately.
I like Jay Hutch in the quiet zone. And he lines up a 7-foot putt, and the green is undulating to the left. The wind is from the right, and we'll see if Jay Hutch can sink this. He's 3 under at the end of 5. Jay Hutch, have a great night, man. Thanks for calling us. We'll remove you from the stream. You are the man. We'll kick you from the green room. Don't take it personally, but you're the man. Jay Hutch, Murfreesboro.
All right.
I like our people in the other time zones.
Yeah.
You know, the wife is obviously sleeping. You know, he's
One in the
enjoying the
morning,
show. Yeah, I mean, seriously. But he's a Giants fan, so he gets to his man cave and he calls the Krueg show anyway. And then he's talking like this. I wish they would try to do something a little bit with the lineup.
all of a sudden, Jay, get in here.
Yeah.
Door.
Oh, who's at the door, Rye? Get the freaking door.
Hello. Can we get?
Hey, what's up? This is Eric from Beals.
Eric from Beal, a regular. What's up, Eric? How's it going, man?
Hey, it's going pretty good. Hey, I heard something interesting on the radio today. Man. It was
We'll decide if it's interesting. No, go ahead.
Yeah. They were saying that Webb may be suffering from a dead arm. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did hear that actually.
Dead arm.
Um,
Dead arms. Like usually, doesn't a dead arm happen like in the dog days of summer, not in April and May?
Well, you know what's funny? I always that's a great question. I always thought that the dead arm thing was something that some pitchers experienced late in spring training.
Right.
So it's possible that maybe he's now just kind of going through that. He'll pitch through that. He hasn't been as sharp. Let's be honest. He has not been as sharp. His stuff has not been as crisp the last couple starts. Now he's found a way to get away with it at times, but he has not looked, how many starts has he made so far? He's probably looked sharp in about 2 of them.
Yeah. First two.
Exactly. First 2, he looked great. And
it's funny because after he did that game where he went 8, almost 9 innings, after that is kind of where he started falling off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping that he has a bounce back day tomorrow. Man, that would really. I think that's like kind of right. That's the 8. He's our ace. Like,
right.
He's got to stop this skid. He's got to put an end to it.
Yeah, it could be why they pushed him back.
CK Chin, not to interrupt you, Danny, but he says dead arm stages they usually get, the pitchers get it during spring training. They usually skip a start or 2 during spring training. Hopefully that's it, right? Hopefully that's it. He did spend some time on the DL. Was it 2 years ago when he first came up? But it's
he had a shoulder issue. That's right.
Yeah, so hopefully it's something he can work through. I always found it amazing. I remember Crawford used to say that he himself, as a shortstop, used to have kind of like a dead arm thing after like a week to 10 days of spring training, where all of a sudden it's just like, wow, I need to kind of break down the adhesions and kind of build up the strength. And it just, he didn't, and then he would get to that next level. And I'm thinking to myself, these guys, that if you do have, arm, some kind of strength loss or some kind of, this is a game where you play every day. You're playing every single day and you're making those throws constantly. So it's something that infielders obviously just have to work through. Hopefully, that would be a huge problem for the Giants if suddenly Logan Webb were unable to, to take his regular turn on the rotation. That would be a, you want to say concern. I'm concerned the Giants aren't hitting, but there's a lot of baseball left. You tell me that Logan Webb is going to spend an appreciable amount of time on the injured list. And now my level of concern goes up quite a bit. Yeah. Don't you guys think?
It does.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And also, was that in his second start where didn't he like get banged up doing something? Like maybe he tripped.
He was going to the first base bag and he twisted his ankle.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was. Yeah. But so that shouldn't affect anything.
That was is that opening day or?
That was opening day.
That was opening day.
It was opening day. On a bright note, Eric, I thought Cobb looked really sharp tonight.
Oh, he was awesome, man. He looked really good.
Yeah, 5 innings, struck out 8.
And here's the thing with a dead arm. What is the usual I don't know if there's a recovery or if you just get through it. I don't know what the normal recovery time is on that. And I guess, and another thing to kind of piggyback on that is with the short spring training, you would think, I mean, I'm not no professional, sports therapist or anything, but you think they would.
But you did stay at a Courtyard Marriott last night, right? You did stay at a Courtyard Marriott last night? Yeah.
The Holiday Inn Express or something like that.
Right.
You would think they would have limited his load as far as, had a short spring training. This guy may be suffering from something just because of that short spring training, and then, just get more innings out of the bullpen when he's out there just to get him established.
Hey, Eric, good stuff, man. Have a great weekend. Thanks for checking in with us.
You betcha.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Eric's the man. One of Marty's favorites. Yeah, Danny, what do you got?
Well, I was thinking, it's a shame. I know they released Beatty, and they're going to probably have a trade.
Is he released or DFA'd?
DFA'd, but
so they may trade him still, right?
Yeah, they can still.
I think they're going to trade him. I
don't
don't
think
think they'll release him.
No, I think they'll trade him, but I hope they get somebody good. And here's why I say that. Look at John Brebbia pitching this year. He's been a real bright spot, and last year he was
terrific.
Horrible. Last year he was horrible, but he was coming off of Tommy John from 2020, and Beatty in 19. At the end of 19, he was really having some good outings. I mean, they weren't great outings, but he had a couple of really, really good ones. And then in 2020, he was kind of expected to be the guy out of the big guy that they were looking at. And I think it was in 2020 he had to have the Tommy John, right? And then so he missed all of last year except for the end of September. I think he was pitching a little bit. And so I think it takes a while to recover from this, and he's still young. And I mean, he was drafted over Walker Buehler. Both Buehler and Beatty were 1-2 at Vanderbilt, and Giants drafted him in 2014.
Giants would like a do-over on that, man. Giants.
I would too. I
think I'd rather have Buehler. I think I'd rather have Buehler. Buehler. Yes. Yeah. But those draft comparisons really always hurt when you see that.
But I do think he's gonna, wherever he ends up, I think he's going to have a good career. He's still in his 20s. So, it's a shame that he was out of options, because that's what if they could have stashed him down there at AAA for this year, he could have really, I believe, turned things around, because he needs to pitch. Marty said it the other night. He needs to just go make 30 starts. The Giants really.
He needs to develop. And it's too bad, because he's been in the minor leagues a period of time, but he's not old. And Marty's totally right. He needs to pitch, but the Giants are not in a position, or at least they don't think they are, in a position to just dole out innings to just guys in development. They're trying to compete and win at the major league level right now. But it will be interesting to see. I don't believe they'll release him. I do think they'll find a trade partner. Yeah. In an ideal world, what do you want coming back? You want a pitcher, or you want somebody who can swing it?
Just somebody that's, in an ideal world.
Yeah. What do you want?
You can never have enough pitching, but.
Hold that thought, Danny. Somebody's at the front door. Trick or treat. Who's there?
Hey, this is Brody from Lancaster.
Brody. How's things in Lancaster?
Is that John Brody or?
It's getting hot, man.
This is Brody 7 in Lancaster. He says it's getting hot. Ooh, yeah. Don't tell Danny about that. Danny's in the desert.
Getting trade, and everybody's kind of in panic mode, talking about rebuilds and trades. And for me, I look at the moves that Farhan has made with Isan, Diaz, and all the players that are playing with the Sacramento River Cats, and I'm just like, man, there's a lot of, trade pieces there. And I know our lineup's coming in, our starters are coming in, But like, do you guys see them making a big trade, like a Bart for Contreras, or some way we swing for the fences and land Judge, or?
Well, wow. I mean, landing Judge. I mean, you wouldn't just land Judge, you'd land Cashman as well, because if Cashman traded Judge, you might as well go with him. You know what I mean? Because they'd boo him right out of New York City. I mean, look at the date. It's the 6th of May. And how many deals? I mean, let's be honest, guys. We all been watching baseball for a long time. How many monumental trades get made on the 6th of May? It's happened. Sometimes it's never happened. It's happened. But man, it hasn't happened recently, and to me, it seems like they almost need to figure out their problems from within for about another month. And if they can get to June 6th and they're still, hanging, and I'm sure they will be, but that's a lot of baseball between now and then. They're going to have to figure stuff out, get right themselves to some degree. The one thing about Farhan, he will not sit around. He will not sit there and just watch this team just circle the drain. He will not. He'll, maybe he'll promote, 3 different people every single day. Maybe he'll try minor league deals till, the cows come home. But I really don't believe, guys, that he would sit with this thing and just watch his team circle the drain and have them score no runs night after night after night and not do something. Now, don't expect, if you're expecting Aaron Judge, don't, right? But I do think he'll make moves, and eventually a couple of them will come through. Go ahead.
For Contreras.
For Contreras, the catcher, you're moving off of Bart. I mean, Bart went 0 for 3 again tonight. He did have the 1 run scored. He's hitting 176. He's got great bat speed, but he just swings through an awful lot of pitches. And I just got to think that if they still had Buster, they'd feel totally comfortable with Bart sitting at AAA. But they don't have Buster, and Casali, you could argue, is in a deeper funk than Joey. So what do you do behind the plate? In a lot of ways, this is kind of the crux of their offensive issue, because when Bart got off to the hot start, things looked pretty good. Now that you got, and they knew they were not under some delusions of grandeur based on what they saw in Arizona. They didn't hit them 3, 4, 5. They've been hitting them at the bottom of the lineup the whole year. They're trying to take as much pressure off his plate as possible. They're trying to slow play him. They're trying to bury him and not, lean on him in any way offensively. But 176. Now, granted, he's not the only guy. Darren Ruff's hitting 188. So it's not like it's not all on Joey Bart. But I don't know I've been thinking about this the last couple of days. Like, what do you do with Bart? What would you guys do? Well, let's throw Ryan to the mix here, young Rye. Rye, what would you do? What would you do with Joey Bart? He's not hitting. And Casali's not hitting either, and you don't have anybody in the minor leagues who's hitting at catcher. What do you do?
Oh, man. Oh, God. On the eve of Buster Posey Day. Man.
It's tough.
It's brutal because, man, the hype train really got off to a pretty good start at the beginning of the year. And, I bet him to win National League Rookie of the Year. I think he had the second best odds. Yeah, since that home run versus Cleveland, it's just been gross. It's been gross. And, I guess, I personally don't really know, because I don't really know, not that I would know Bart, but I feel like I don't have a great understanding of his personality yet. I'm going to hope that Kapler kind of figures, has his finger on the pulse. I don't know. That's why they pay Kapler the big bucks.
I just see it because we've been, we're almost 100 mil under the cap, and we do have all these assets. And Joey is a trade piece, and it's last year we had Posey, and Posey, he was the captain. He got us home runs. He was clutch. He's our guy. And it's going into this season, seeing Casali and Bart, and I just felt like they threw him in there like they did in 2020, and I just felt like he just doesn't fit.
It's weird. It's it's crazy to sit there and talk about trades in May, but then you think about it and you go, wait a second. They don't have anybody in the minor leagues. They can't just go with Casale. They probably need to farm out Joey. I'm looking at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's 3-22. You know who their backup catcher is? Their backup catcher is Aramis Garcia. Remember Aramis?
Oh, yeah.
The former Giant?
Yep.
That might not be a bad guy to acquire. I mean, he's not the solution, but he's a decent offensive player. He's more major league ready. He's only hitting .212 with 1 home run, so it's not like he's ripping it. But that's a guy at least you could get who's somewhat familiar with your system, somewhat familiar with your organization. It's weird. It's weird to be advocating for trades in May. But then once again, when you look at this, you think, well, wait a second. They can't stay status quo, right? They can't stay status quo. They're not going to allow Joey Bart to hit 089. They're just not. So they're eventually going to farm him out if he can't get it going. And then they're going to need another catcher. And Bailey's not ready. And I think the kid Genovese, you could check the AAA stats, right? Yeah, but I think Ricardo Genovese is struggling in AAA. So
is he at AAA or? I
thought he was at AAA. Am I wrong? Isn't Bailey at AA and Genovese?
He got a hit today, though. I mean,
yeah, he is at AAA. That's right.
279, 2 home runs.
Yeah, 279 is 239 in the big leagues, if that. I mean, you heard Farhan in an interview that he did with Alex Pavlovich, and Pavlovich was asking him about Elliot Ramos, and Farhan was perfectly clear. He's like, "Hey, look, you need to dominate at AAA before you're going to be called up. We need to see Elliot dominate in AAA before he's getting the call up." And Farhan went on to say that even Joey Bart was last year at AAA. I think Joey Bart hit 294. 294. And now we're seeing what 294 in AAA equates to in the major leagues.
Yeah, Ramos is hitting 220 with 2 home runs.
Yeah.
It's AAA. You ought to be, if you're going to make it big in the big club, you've got to be really hitting over 300, getting some driving the ball. Here's something that here's a thought. When La Stella comes back, and I'm guessing it's within 2 weeks, I don't think a veteran like that needs that much rehab if he's, playing now and he's getting his at-bats. He's basically trying to get his eye down. You try and get your eye, see live pitching, get your timing, get your eye seeing different pitches. And that's why Gabe said he's not worried about the results so much as just getting these guys reps. So when La Stella comes back, and Belt is back, and Jock is ready to run full speed and play the outfield, is there a possibility they could trade someone like Yaz? Because, listen to me here, because if you got Jock in left field, and you've got Wade in right field and Gonzalez in left, or center, there's your 3 left-handed bats. Gonzalez has options and he can be sent down, but he looks like a major league hitter to me. He doesn't.
He's definitely a major league. They can't farm out Gonzalez.
Yeah, no.
He's like, he might be the best hitter they got right now.
Yeah, because he can. Do you notice they're not platooning him? They let him bat against left-handed pitchers, and he stays in the box and he hits the ball. He doesn't strike out much. Yaz can't hit lefties. Wade can't hit lefties. Gonzalez may be your everyday outfielder that we've been clamoring for years.
No, he looks good. Hey, Brody, you probably got to go. There's probably a lot going on in downtown Lancaster tonight. What is going on in downtown Lancaster? If I was in downtown Lancaster right now, where would I want to be?
You'd probably be. I mean, if you're bougie, you'd probably be at one of the high-end bars.
It's 11:30.
You'll probably be at Big Shots.
All right.
Hoping you don't get shot.
On that note, we'll let you go. Hey, have a big night in Lancaster. Thanks for giving us a call.
No, thank you guys.
Brody in Lancaster, everybody. Do we have some cheers? You know what we need? We need hey.
I know we do.
Hey, that was Brody Lancaster, everybody. Say goodnight, Brody.
So hey, I'm looking right now. I'm just kind of going over because you got me thinking. I'm going over the River
teams.
No, the River Cats
okay.
starting lineup.
I got an idea I want to throw your guys' ways as well. So what is the River Cat lineup saying to you?
Well, I'm just trying to see who's even doing anything down there. And I mean, look, only 14 ABs, but Luke Williams got sent down. He's hitting 571.
Bring him back, Luke Williams. That's what they miss. They miss Luke Williams. I actually like Luke Williams, but he's a utility guy. Hey, what do you think? I don't know if you caught the scores around the big leagues tonight. What do you think of this idea? The A's lost 2-1 to the Twins. The A's have lost 7 in a row. They have behind the plate Sean Murphy. Now, Sean Murphy is not anything great, but at least he's major league. And, you could make an argument that Joey Bart for Sean Murphy is a win-win, right? A win for the Giants because they get more of a major league ready player in Sean Murphy, but maybe a win for the A's as well because they maybe get the better player ultimately in Joey Bart. And I'm thinking of Tyler Beede. Maybe you could move Tyler Beede in that deal as well. Or if the A's don't want to go that direction, what do you think of hold on. Get the door. Get the door. Get the damn door.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Krueg Show. Who's this?
Hi, Krueg. Oh my, this is Anthony from Colorado.
Anthony from Colorado. Welcome to the Krueg Show, man. How are you?
Yes, sir. I'm great. Actually, I'd be better if the Giants, weren't where they are right now. But
we were just actually floating. We're talking about the problem, the dilemma that they have, and one of the dilemmas that we're talking about is that Joey Bart isn't hitting, and neither's Kirk Casale, and the Giants don't seem like they have anybody. And we were kind of floating out trade ideas. I was just about to say to the guys, what about a deal involving either Sean Murphy of the A's or wait for it. What do you think of a smaller deal and bring Stephen Vogt back to the Giants? Stephen Vogt's both an offensive player and he's a left-handed hitter. So you could add a left-handed hitting catcher to go with Casale. I'm not saying I would trade Joey Bart for Stephen Vogt. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying just, you get Stephen Vogt and that allows you to send Joey Bart back to the minor leagues and get him the more seasoning that he needs. And now you can share the catcher spot between Casale and Vogt for a month as you get Bart kind of, freshened up at AAA. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I like Vogt's bat. He's not much behind the dish. He has not a very good arm.
You were going to say a rag arm, weren't you? You're about to say he has a rag arm.
I was going to say something about it. Something. But I like Stephen Vogt. He's a great referee too. But one thing about Joey, if you had him in Oakland, he could take Bart to.
Oh, you knew that was coming. Oh, wait a second. All right, you know what? Last night we did this to Rye, and I hate to do this to Dan.
I'm getting.
Yeah, you're getting muted. You're getting muted.
Wait. Actually, wait. Let's have him tell the joke one more time.
What's that? You want him to tell it again? All
yeah,
right,
yeah. Wait.
All right, Dan Coach Emilio is now going to be unmuted. Wait, hold on a second, Dan. All right, now you're back. Dan, can we hear you?
Do I want to take a shot at this again?
Yeah. Repeat the joke. I think
so. I can get sent to the green room. Okay. I said if Joey was with the A's, he could take Bart to work. Just get right off and just walk to the stadium. Uh-oh.
That's Dan Coach Emilio, everybody. 2-drink minimum. Tip your waitresses. He'll be at the Chuckle Hut in Dayton on the 19th. And as I said, 2-drink minimum. Welcome to Tommy T's. All right. Back to Anthony in Colorado as Dan is muted momentarily to think about that joke, thinking long and hard if you're going to bring a joke like that to the Krueg Show ever again. Anthony, where in Colorado are you calling from, buddy?
We're in Colorado Springs. Actually.
Nice. Go say hi to Rick Barry. Rick Barry's got a spot there. Colorado Springs.
Which-
Beautiful. Have you ever gone out? Have you ever played the Broadmoor? The Broadmoor. There you go. Well, let's bring Danny back because I think Danny's probably played the Broadmoor. Danny, you ever been to the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs?
No,
Beautiful resort.
Yeah, I've done some stuff up there, and son-in-law was in the Air Force, and
Oh, nice.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool.
so
Awesome. Well, Anthony, what do you think? I mean, do you have a solution, or are you going to be part of the problem or part of the solution? No, we're just joking. But what do you you got any ideas that can jumpstart the Giants here on the 6th of May?
Well, I came in with a question I was going to ask you.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Well, I want to talk about Joey Bart first because you guys
Sure.
were talking about him, right?
Yeah.
Number 2 overall pick, just behind Casey Mize. He has the expectations of the world put on his shoulders. He's got to come up and follow after Buster Posey, which is an impossible task.
Sure.
And we've always known that he's had a lot of swing and miss in his bat, but he actually really impressed me this year, like at the beginning of the year, taking all those pitches and
He was patient. He showed patience in spring training.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I expected a lot more swing and miss like we're seeing now. A lot of like undisciplined hitting that we saw in 2020 where, they were just pitching soft stuff, away all the time. And it was basically a free out. But the thing with Joey is I think they just gotta, I don't think sending him back to AAA is, I don't think it's the solution because he already hit I think he hit 300 last year.
Well, he hit 294. I mean, it just kind of shows that 294 in AAA is like, it's probably a 75-point difference. He's probably more like a 220 hitter in the that equates to 220 in the bigs. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. One thing I can't picture him getting right at the major league level, just showing up at 4 o'clock for extra BP. Do you guys think that's, they tried that today. I don't know if you guys saw that, but in the pregame, Casali and Bart were both out there taking extra BP. They're trying. The Giants know that that's a problem, and they know they've got a dilemma here, and they're trying to get this kid jump-started at the major league level. But it's I don't want to say it's impossible, but, man, it's damn hard to try to get going, especially when you can see 4 pitchers like they saw tonight. Thank goodness.
Well, Donnie Ecker, do you remember Donnie Ecker, the awesome hitting coach that we had last year? He left, and a lot of the hitting is down like league wide, but Giants just don't look like they look like a different team this year when it comes to hitting. And I know we're like so injured and banged up, and we're waiting for Belt and everybody to get back, but geez, it's tough to watch the Giants almost a little bit because the pitching.
Oh no, it is. Believe me, I hear you. I agree with you. It is guys. It's Anthony, we'll let you go. And out in Colorado, can you give us a every night I listen to the Krueg show on your way out the door?
Okay. I hope this makes a good sound you can use like in an intro maybe.
Yeah.
Guys, this is the Krueg show. Tune in. It's awesome. He's doing it every night, doing it better than anybody else in baseball. So, he has a track record for being on KNBR for all those years, interviewing the players, knows what good baseball looks like, what bad baseball looks like. Krueg's the man.
Can you say Anthony, Colorado, I'm out?
Anthony from Colorado is out.
There you go. That's Anthony from Colorado, everybody.
All right. Colorado Springs, yeah.
Colorado Springs, not to be confused with just generally Colorado. Colorado Springs, a little nicer area.
Spring.
You can buy big houses in Colorado Springs. There's a ton of houses for like 3,000 square feet that are just nothing. We appreciate that. We got Romo 2001 is making a I almost said $5,000 donation. He's making a $5 donation. Danny doing material once again. Could be muted, but since he's our sponsor, I try not to. All right, the Giants have been in rebuild mode. Last year was unexpected, but it did not throw off Farhan from the rebuild process. Maybe that's why there's been no big signings. What do you react to that? What do you think?
I understand. I mean, yeah, to an extent. I mean, it does.
Are we still ahead of? Are we ahead of the deal, Ryan? Are they ahead of schedule, and that's why they didn't spend?
I mean, I do agree with that whole idea that they have to build up the farm system. I mean, that's what we were talking about. Like, he came over from the Dodgers. The Dodgers they built a crazy farm system before we can start trading these dudes away for are the Scherzers of the world for half a season. We do have to build it back up, and God, it's just a killjoy. Honestly, I think if the Warriors win on Saturday, I think things are going to start to pick up. I think there's just a general malaise around the Bay Area right now. Not many people at the game. I was going to say also, when they showed Hjelle's family, there was nobody around them. They were just empty seats all around. And I was like, wait, did they got them in the nosebleeds? But no, I don't think they were too bad of seats.
They usually stick them in the club level, the family.
The club level.
Look at that. Look at the way Danny said that they usually stick them in the club level. I noticed because I am in the club level.
That's right.
Yes. In fact, they sit them behind me at the club in the club level. J Hutch 91, who is now video called and is now texting. I mean, this is a guy who just refuses to go to bed. He says, "Can we talk about Luis Gonzalez?" Actually, we'll just do it in the right voice since it's late. Can we talk about Luis Gonzalez? My wife is sleeping, but he looks like a stud. I hope Kevin Padlow can be a stud too. He has made moves already that has won us games this year. In Farhan, we trust. He's got this, guys. Relax. You got to whisper it. Yes. Otherwise, it's just not quite from J Hutch in 91 to Murfreesboro.
Yeah, especially at 1:40 in the morning.
He's in Murfreesboro, and his wife's in the next room sleeping.
I think he's laying next to her typing.
Yeah. Shh. Honey, go back to bed.
Jay.
I'm worried. I'm telling people to relax who are 2 time zones away.
Jay Hutch. If you're here, I know you hear us. You got your headsets on and you're laying in bed typing. Tell us, type back and let us know if that's what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Paint the picture.
Oh, guys, I've got an ugly thing to read.
Wait a second. Let's put him. Rye's got to go to the big square right now. Yes, Rye.
I hate to be a bummer, but I just from what I remembered, I was like, Bart just fell off a cliff since he hit that home run in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I just sorted all the games since that home run in Cleveland. He's hitting 100, 30 ABs, 16 strikeouts.
He's consistent.
You know what?
Hey,
I mean, it just
it's funny how not a double, not even a double.
It's funny how things change. Like, it used to be a guy, he can't hit. Now there's a lot of swing and miss in his game. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed how much kinder it's if you say he can't hit a lick, that sounds rude. But if you say, he's doing all right, there's just a lot of swing and miss in his game. Doesn't that sound a lot better than he can't hit?
Exactly.
There's a lot of swing and miss.
Hey, Ryan, do me a favor. Check out the 2018 draft. I'm just curious who was.
I actually had that pulled up too.
Great. I was curious who was drafted 3, 4, and 5
after Bart.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Now we're really turning the page on Bart. We're gonna bemoan the draft choice. Who the hell?
I know it was the previous.
Wait a second. Who could we have had instead? That's basically what Danny just said. Who could we have had instead in the draft instead of Joey Bart? Now that we're sitting there and he's struggling.
All right, number 3, Alec Boehm.
I think Alec Boehm. I remember that. Boehm.
This city sucks. That guy. Yeah. This city effing sucks.
I kind
Get
of
me
love
out of
that,
here.
though. And I feel like the Phillies fans like respected it too, because they're
There's
like,
it.
you know what? He owned up to it. A lot of guys would have just said, "Nah, I didn't say it," but he's like, "Yep, I said that. Yeah, and I regret it." But I think that played well with those guys. Nick Madrigal went 4. Jonathan India 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
He's got a nice mullet.
Keep going. 6, 7, 8.
Jared Kalenic.
Oh gosh, Seattle.
Oh my goodness, he can
man, we
hit.
could have had
He can hit.
Kalanick.
Kalanick.
Ryan Weathers, Carter Stewart. Oh, hey, you know what? It could have been worse. We could have taken the number 9th pick. Do you know who the number 9th pick is?
Who?
You guys, I bet you could guess with this intro. No, I'm not going to leave you hanging. Kyler Murray.
Oh, the A's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kyler
Murray.
that's right.
Kyler Murray.
Could have been worse. Then we got Travis Swaggerty. Great name.
I love Travis Swaggerty. He plays for the Pirates. He rakes.
Grayson
rakes.
Rodriguez. Jordan Groshans.
What'd you call me?
Connor Scott, 2 names. Marlins. Logan Gilbert, Mariners. Cole Wynn. Matthew Liberatore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
pitcher from Arizona. Yeah, he pitched right around the corner from where I live. Yeah.
Jordan Adams, Brady Singer. Oof.
Brady
Nolan
Singer.
Gorman, Trevor Larnach. Let me
That's
see.
not
Twins,
Trevor
yeah.
Lawrence.
Let me find the next catcher taken. Bo Naylor. Oh, wait, no. It was Anthony Siegler.
No.
Siegler.
Wow.
Take him to the Yankees.
Out of those guys, I think Kalenic would have been, he's a great hitter. I think Jonathan India's got a lot of potential.
So Jonathan India's gotten a lot thicker in 1 year. My goodness. He looked a lot more athletic last year. J Hutch 91 says, Ryan, what is Connor Joe hitting right now?
Oh, God.
He's
Connor
hitting
We're bemoaning Connor Joe.
Connor Joe is hitting 272, 4 homers.
Yeah.
That's like Ted Williams compared to most of the guys we got right now.
I know.
He used to catch too. Connor Joe was a catcher, I believe. Wasn't he?
Was he?
I think he was. I think he had some catching background in the minor leagues with the Dodgers.
Man, obviously Farhan knew a little something about Connor Joe because he's done really well, and obviously he has a future here, has a future in the big leagues. But man, the Connor Joe that we saw with the sitting there looking like Darth Vader holding the lightsaber in his duel with Luke Skywalker, it literally looked like the biggest non-offensive threat I've ever seen. And now he's got more of a standard approach at the plate, let's just say. And, he's getting results, he's hitting line drives, hitting the ball consistently.
Yeah. One thing I will say in defense of Joey Bart, it's when Matt Williams came up in 86 season.
86 and 87, he just kept coming up. He would hit 088 and he'd be farmed out
and strike out. He looked like Bart. He looked worse than Bart in many ways. He was swinging at balls in the dirt 3 feet off the plate. He could not hit a curveball.
He would get in these funks too. He'd just get these deep funks and he couldn't pull himself out and they had to farm him out. It's big league baseball is incredibly hard. And then what you have at the major league level that you don't have in the minor league level is you have these advanced scouts that are paid 6-figure salaries to find your weakness. And then after you play 10 games, suddenly it's like there's enough at bats that are circulating in the video system that everybody gets that suddenly it's real easy for these pitchers to kind of hone in on your weakness. And then guess what? If you can hit the hell out of the fastball and you can hit the hell out of the curveball, but you got a problem with the slider on the hands, guess what? You get the slider on the hands.
Yeah. You saw Jock tonight. Jock's a big fastball hitter. And he could hit the 100-mile-an-hour fastball out of the park. And I thought if this guy throws him a fastball, Helsley? And he starts him off with 2 off-speed curves right in there for strike 1, strike 2, and then he got him on the outside pitch. I think he finally blew a fastball off the plate, but he'd set him up beautifully with this off-speed stuff at 84, 85, and then he comes at 101, So
they're in a tough spot right now because they need to jumpstart the offense. They need to figure out what they're going to do behind the plate. And I would not be surprised if there was some move made because, how much longer are you going to go with Joey Bart? Realistically, I mean, because you don't want to bury him,
Right.
and you can't go with Casale because Casale's just, we saw Casale start off in the deep freeze last year, and then he got it going, and when he got it going, it looked good, but it took a while to get it going, and then he started hitting line drives and hitting with power, and I thought he was a much better off. I mean, when I first saw him in the first half of last year, guys, I thought, man, not a major league hitter, and then he got it going, and he got a little momentum going.
He had hand injury. He had a hand injury at the start of the season last year.
That's true. That's a good call. You're right. He had the hand injury. Maybe that was Dan. Maybe that was the issue. Maybe that was his issue offensively. Is he dinged up right now? Because he's
they
struggling.
said he's healthy. He's just not getting enough at bats, really.
Yeah.
I'd almost give Casale 2 or 3 starts in a row, see if he can get some timing down. And then let Joey sit for a couple of days. And then maybe when he gets back in there on the third day, he gets some good swings. And, sometimes when you have those bad streaks and it's like you don't even want to go up to the plate. It's just like you could see it in his face. I mean, he's like he took that one pitch tonight, just strike right off the plate. But he just kind of looked at it and he just kind of walked away like, dang it, here it goes again. I mean, we used to tell you some funny stories. When I was playing ball in Babe Ruth, we had one kid, a guy that he struck out every time he went up to the bat, and he'd come back and he'd make some excuses. And we were in the dugout, all us players. We were like, okay, what do you think he's going to say when he comes back? We're all betting on him going to strike out. We were like the Bad News Bears. We were a bad team, and so we were just.
Did your manager drink Budweisers in the dugout?
I think one of them was smoking joints, I believe. It's like we were
he could have been the sponsor for the team these days. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. But we knew you guys. You can tell. You just look at guys, and they're just Bart's walking up there like even when he got on tonight, he beat out the grounder. It was just a weak. If it was hit decent, they would have doubled him up. But it was hit so weak that, he was able to get on, beat it out, and then he scored the tying run. Well, the one good thing about Joey is for a catcher, he can move. He can move pretty good.
Yeah, he scored today. You know what? Also, I've got
he's going to be able to get from San Francisco to Sacramento in a blink of an eye. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, fast as a Bart.
He can really move.
So, okay, I just did I did a little sorting, a little stat sorting because I want to see.
Look at you over there. You're sorting?
Yeah, I'm sorting some stuff. I want.
Are you collating?
I am collating. I wanted to see just how bad the league-wide hitting is right now. So
230, isn't it?
Well, so listen to this. So I'm going to give you, not including this year, okay? I'm going to give you the 5 worst league-wide batting averages, history of baseball. All right?
History, okay.
History of baseball.
For how many, minimum of how many at-bats, though? 200 at-bats or something?
Well, I mean, just a full, for a season.
Oh, full season, okay.
Full season. All right. 1884, 243. 1967, 242. 1908, 239. 1888, 239. 1968, 237. 2022, 233.
Yep. So we're all-time worst.
And then one more.
Maybe the solution is slower the mound. Are we at an era? Are we at a point now? I mean, that's what happened in '68, right?
Yep.
In '69.
They lowered the mound because of it was the batting averages was so bad that they thought they could do that. I've heard they've been talking about in the minor leagues. I believe it's happening this year. They're moving the mound back to 61 feet, I believe, or 61 something. I think they're moving it back, testing it.
Hey, fellas. Also, I had one more juicy one for you. Hits. hits per game. All right.
Right.
Hits per game average. 5 worst in MLB history. 1906, 8.04. 1907, 7.99. 1909, 7.92. 1968, 7.91. 1908, 7.75. 2022, 7.70.
Wow, right up there. What was the worst? 7.08 or
So
something?
22 is the worst in both.
No, I thought you read the one right before 22 was what was that
1908, 7.75, and then this year it's
okay.
7.70.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well,
That's like less than 4 hits. That's like 4 hits for each team a game.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a tough sell. That's a tough watch.
Yeah.
That's not what they want. They want more action. That is not more action. That's less action.
You got
it almost makes me think like not to just make excuses for Farhan and the boys, but like, clearly they've got these insane analytics and they're, tailoring their swings for the launch angle and the maximization of home runs. But like, you know what? Like, if the variables don't remain the same, then how can they do those calculations? Because if the variable of meaning the ball has now been deadened, like that means that screws everything up, changes everything. Like all the stuff we did last year. I mean,
well, and baseball can't sit there and say, well, we don't. They all used to act like, oh, well, we have no idea about the ball, and it's but now they own the ball company. They bought the company. So now they not only know the specs on the ball, they're the ones in control of those specs, and they can make any kind of baseball they want and have any kind of outcome they want. But yeah, Jay Hutch, says here as he's texting with his probably wife laying right there, he says this is a new dead ball era because they changed the ball and then they added a humidor to every ballpark. Why is there a humidor in San Francisco? I think that's a good question. I really think that's an excellent question. Do they need a humidor? All I got to say is I don't know what's up with the ball, but MLB controls this, this variable. So they can, and I don't know, Marty seems to think it's a different ball on different days, that they're doctoring the ball and it's a daily deal. Do you guys believe in that? I mean, how much of what we're seeing is about the ball? How much of what we're seeing is no spring training? How much of what we're seeing is this age of specialization where the Cardinals can throw 4 ridiculously different and nasty pitchers all at you in one night? Danny, you've been watching this game longer than Ryan, longer than I have. What do you think?
Well, I think it's a combination, but the ball is definitely a part of this because in the beginning of the year, the Giants were hitting quite a bit of home runs. They were hitting 2-3 a game for first few weeks. They were up there at the top. Now I don't remember the last game they hit a home run. Well, Crawford hit one against the Dodgers the other night, but I mean, that barely made it out and he smoked that thing. And I think if they've got a humidor in every stadium and a deadened ball, I'd be curious to know, Ryan, what the home run totals are at this point compared to last year, if you're able to find that, because this is, Major League Baseball's got a huge problem. They've got a huge marketing issue with the fans, with the off season that they just had, and then to come in and deaden the ball and weaken the game and make it less entertaining, it's ridiculous. I mean, the NBA and the NFL know how to market their sports. Baseball is the worst marketing of any major sports I've seen. And it used to be, when I was a kid, it was number one. It was the number one sport. It was America's pastime. Now it's not even a close, hockey's going to pass it soon.
Since we're creeping up on midnight, and I promised that we would get out of here at 11. I think we're going to push past 11. Why don't we mention our sponsors right here? God, that guy looks so familiar. I can't picture where I've seen him before.
Put a hat on him.
yeah, he's more trustworthy with the Giants hat. No, but the glasses, I like the glasses. Dan Coach Emilio, Danny is a sponsor of our show, and you can give him a call today at 925-628-9966. Actually, maybe try in the morning because you don't want to call too late. But securemoney.com on the web, 925-628-9966. And Dan is a guy who obviously has spent a lot of time in the financial sector, and he's got over 25 years of experience. Dan, tell people about what you do and what you could potentially do for some of the people in the audience. If they go to securemoney.com, what are they going to find? If they decided that they needed a financial advisor and they're not set for retirement and they feel like they need your services, and they call that number 925-628-9966, what's that experience going to be like?
Yeah, well, first of all, they can call at any time because Jay Hutch will take my calls if I'm asleep.
Yes,
So
we believe in heavy bond portfolio. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Danny.
No, we're just having fun with you, Jay Hutch. Great to have you part of the show at 2 a.m.
That's right.
Yeah, people call me. They're just going to get me to ask them some questions about what they're looking to accomplish, what their goals are. We'll sit down. We'll set up a meeting time, whether it's through Zoom or in person, depending on where I'm at. I work out of Arizona and in the Bay Area, but I'm going to help you to protect your assets, grow your assets, and all my clients. I've had thousands of clients over the years. Not one of them has ever lost a penny to market decline. So that's why the company's named Secure Money. It truly is secure, and I work with A-rated companies. And so I'm the kind of guy that is there for your protection of your retirement, not to risk it. There is a place for, obviously risk. We're not asking you to put 100% of your portfolio and say, put it all into this basket. You need to diversify. You need a portion of your money that's safe. And if you want some safety without risk, give me a call.
Danny, one question that I have, we're now seeing, I don't want to get into this whole discussion about inflation, but we're seeing, inflation that we haven't seen since like 1980 or 1981 or something like that. I read that today. And those are huge numbers. And how does that impact like your planning and like the advice that you would give some of your clients on their portfolio going forward when you do see inflation creeping up and people are very concerned about, just making their monthly nut and living day to day. And it's not that they're not worried about their retirement or they're not concerned about that, but they're really concerned about inflation and what that's going to do to them in the present. How do you factor that in?
Yeah, well, it's very important that you outpace inflation, and it's very difficult to do that with a lot of secure investments because typically your most secure investments are money markets and CDs, and they have always trailed, because they're safe. Your, CDs and historically the last 10 plus years have been down below 1%. Inflation's really closer. They say it's closer to 7, 8 is what they're saying it is. I think it's, practically higher. The things that we buy every day, gas, food, all those things are skyrocketing. And so you need to be earning and outpacing inflation, but you also want to be safe about it. If you put all your money in the market, in mutual funds and stocks, saying, well, this definitely has the best potential to outpace inflation, it also has the potential to lose your money. And so you got to be careful. And so the products I use will give you good growth without the risk.
And that's really the key, right? I mean, you're trying to minimize the risk and you want to make smart decisions. So Dan's at 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. And we also want to thank our other sponsor, Telmetrics.co. Telmetrics.co is a very interesting company. If you're an orthopedic surgeon or an occupational therapist or a chiropractor or a physical therapist, Telmetrics is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. So what is Telmetrics? Well, Telmetrics uses computer vision and artificial intelligence and provides a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in the clinical and telehealth environments. And using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injury needs, and if you are a physical rehabilitation specialist of any kind, be sure you go to the website, telmetrics.co, Telmetrix.co. And thanks to Casey Bateman at Telmetrics and, of course, Danny for being proud sponsors of the Krueg Show. We appreciate it greatly. Guys, let's finish up in the chat and then we'll say goodnight. A lot of people basically are finding this show for the first time and saying, well, what's going on here? Is this a local show? We're doing Postgame after Giants games, after Warrior games. We'll continue after Niner games as well in the fall. And be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Be extra sure to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted for all the upcoming shows. And we're having a great time. Tomorrow we will be back with you after. Now tomorrow Giants play. It's an interesting start time tomorrow, guys. It's 4:15. So Giants Cardinals 4:15 start tomorrow, and then Warriors Grizzlies game 3 from Chase Center at 5:30. So we'll be on. We probably won't come on right after the end of the Giants game. I have a feeling the Giants game could end first, but who knows? It could be real close. But right around 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow, we'll come on for a little post game tomorrow. We'll talk. We'll do a little combo. We'll do some NBA. Cyrus will just stop by. His eyelids will be at half mask, and we'll get his thoughts on the Warriors and the Grizz, and then we'll talk a little Giants Cardinals as well. And then on Sunday we're going to take Sunday we're going to take off and have one off day. And then what's that, Danny?
Mother's Day on Sunday. Make sure that you get your mother or your wife or girlfriend, whatever you need to get her for Mother's Day. You don't want to be that guy. Don't be that guy who misses out on Mother's Day. Guys, time for our final thought of the night. Why don't we go to young Ryan to lead us off? What do you think? What do you think, Rye? I mean, we had a lot of interesting discussion tonight. We took a video. We got a video call from Murfreesboro. We took some calls. We got some donations. We got in the chat. We broke it all down. But it doesn't change anything. The Giants are still not swinging the bat. They lose a game 3-2. That they were in this game and it was a good competitive baseball game, but. Once again, they're on the outside looking in, and suddenly the Giants are struggling. They've lost 5 in a row. What's your thought?
What Marty would say, like, it's a long season. My panic button isn't going above 8 unless we lose on Logan Webb Day tomorrow, or Buster Posey Day with Logan Webb on the mound. So I'm still feeling good. I think they're going to win tomorrow. Warriors are going to win. We're going to come away feeling good. And also, if anybody's still in the chat, just trying to be positive here. I thought, Larry, your mic sounded excellent today. And if anybody in the chat noticed a difference, I'd love to hear their thoughts. So, yeah.
Did you like the sound of the microphone tonight?
ASMR.
We've got this one from Mr. Nobody. He says, Jay Hutch, congratulations, MVP tonight award. Jay Hutch. Danny, jump in. Your final thought on the evening tonight. We had a lot of fun. Nobody got hurt. Nobody died during the show. The Giants still struggling to score, but we had a good time. And Romo 2001 did say Larry's mic did sound more clear. But Danny, give me your final thought on this 1-run loss to the Cardinals and the night that was here on the Krueg Show.
Yeah, final thought, the season's over. Go home. Hey, every team goes through it. It's a long season. Every team's going to lose, probably have at least 1 4 or 5 game losing streak in baseball. Even the Dodgers last year winning 106 lost 14 out of 18 early on in the season, and we're sitting at 17 and 16. So the Giants have time to turn it around, and I believe they will. They'll get it right. Ryan said it first. I was going to come out with a guarantee because this
Guaranteeing
win,
it?
I'm guaranteeing tomorrow a Giants win and a Warriors win for the first time in the playoffs, NBA playoffs, where the Giants and Warriors played the same day. We haven't had them both win yet on the same day. So tomorrow's it.
All right. A lot of good points, a lot of fun tonight. Jay Hutch, I think, sums it up best when he says, "In Farhan we trust." And guys, remember, whatever you do, relax. All right, that does it for us. Guys, have a phenomenal weekend. A lot of fun tonight. We'll be back after Warrior basketball and Giant baseball tomorrow night. For Dan and Ryan, I'm Larry. Good night.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle. Yeah, we ain't never fall back.